If you're over 60, there's something in your fridge that might look harmless, even healthy. But studies show it could be quietly raising your risk of heart attack, stroke, and memory loss. We're talking about cheese. In 2023, a major study published in the American Journal of Clinical Nutrition revealed that eating the wrong kind of cheese can increase your risk of heart disease by up to 40%. And here's the kicker: most doctors never mention it. Worse yet, the most dangerous cheeses are often the ones marketed as gourmet or wholesome. They're anything but. For seniors, these cheeses can trigger inflammation, raise blood pressure, and accelerate cognitive decline. If you think that morning bagel with cream cheese is innocent, won't think again. It might be doing more harm than you realize. But don't worry, not all cheeses are bad. In fact, some can help strengthen your bones, protect your brain, and keep your gut happy, if you choose wisely. In this video, we'll show you 4 cheeses you should eat after 60, 4 cheeses you should avoid at all costs, and the #1 most toxic cheese hiding in plain sight. Before we dive in, comment below where you're watching from, and hit that like and subscribe button so you don't miss out on life-saving health tips like this. Let's get started. When it comes to cheese, many older adults think of it as fattening, hard to digest, or bad for cholesterol, and often cut it out entirely. But the truth is, not all cheese is harmful. In fact, some natural, minimally processed cheeses can offer incredible benefits for your bones, heart, memory, and digestion, especially if you're over 60. Let's start with fresh mozzarella. Not the rubbery, shredded kind you see in grocery store bags, but real soft mozzarella made from buffalo milk. This cheese is low in sodium, low in saturated fat, and rich in calcium, phosphorus, and bioactive peptides. These nutrients help reduce inflammation, support joint health, and improve blood vessel flexibility. As we age, our digestive system slows down. Thankfully, fresh mozzarella is low in lactose, easy to digest, and gentle on sensitive stomachs. A 2022 study published in the European Journal of Nutrition. Next is feta, the crumbly Mediterranean cheese made from goat or sheep's milk. Its slightly salty and tangy flavor adds depth to any dish. But more importantly, it's packed with probiotics, those good bacteria essential for digestion and immunity. Many seniors experience gut issues as their microbiome weakens with age or medications, and feta can help restore that balance. It's also rich in calcium, protein, and vitamin B12, key nutrients for strong bones, brain health, and energy levels. And since feta's flavor is so bold, you only need a little to enhance your meal. A practical tip: rinse it gently before eating to reduce sodium by up to 30%, which is a big plus for anyone managing high blood pressure. Try it on roasted vegetable salads or even steamed sweet potatoes. Swiss cheese is another underrated option for seniors. Known for its iconic holes, Swiss cheese is not only fun to eat, but incredibly heart-friendly. It's naturally very low in sodium, only around 53 milligrams per ounce, and virtually lactose-free, making it ideal for people with dairy sensitivities. It also contains vitamin K2, which plays a critical role in directing calcium into your bones rather than your arteries, reducing the risk of arterial calcification, a common concern in aging. Rich in protein and vitamin B12, Swiss cheese supports muscle maintenance and cognitive function. And those holes, they're created during natural fermentation by beneficial bacteria that also aid digestion. Add a slice to your whole grain sandwich, or pair it with apple slices and walnuts for a healthy snack. Last but not least, goat cheese is one of the most senior-friendly cheeses you can buy. It contains medium-chain fatty acids that are easier for the body to process even as your metabolism slows down. These fats don't build up in the liver or raise cholesterol levels, and they come with natural anti-inflammatory properties. Goat cheese is also high in omega-3s, vitamin A, zinc, and selenium nutrients that support brain function, immunity, and thyroid health. Even more impressively, some studies suggest goat cheese may help slow down cognitive decline, making it a potential ally in preventing age-related memory loss. Most varieties contain no preservatives or artificial additives, making it a clean, nutrient-dense food. Try spreading it on whole grain toast with a drizzle of honey, or mixing it into roasted vegetables or fruit-based salads. In short, cheese doesn't have to be the enemy of healthy aging. The key is choosing the right kind, natural, low-sodium, minimally processed, and nutrient-rich. When chosen wisely and eaten in moderation, these 4 types of cheese can support your joints, heart bones, and brain, helping you age not just gracefully, but powerfully. Would you like me to continue with the next section about the cheeses to avoid after 60? Just as there are cheeses that can nourish and protect your aging body, there are also those that quietly work against your health, often without you even realizing it. These types of cheese may be tasty, convenient, or nostalgic, but beneath the surface they come with hidden dangers, especially for those over 60. As metabolism slows down, blood pressure becomes more volatile, and digestion less efficient. Your body becomes less capable of handling certain ingredients, sodium preservatives, and unhealthy fats among them. These cheeses might look innocent on the surface, but they could be silently increasing your risk of high blood pressure, memory loss, kidney damage, and even stroke. Let's look closely at the 4 worst offenders. American cheese is one of the most misleading products in the dairy aisle. Often found wrapped in shiny plastic or layered in fast food sandwiches, it isn't technically cheese in the traditional sense. It's a processed food product made from a blend of milk, fats, emulsifiers, preservatives, artificial colors, and a surprisingly high amount of salt. Just 1 slice can contain around 15% of your recommended daily sodium intake. For older adults, that's a serious red flag. Excess sodium can increase blood pressure, strain the heart, and worsen conditions like congestive heart failure and kidney disease. And because it's so commonly consumed in sandwiches, burgers, and quick snacks, it's easy to eat more than 1 slice without realizing it. But sodium isn't the only concern. American cheese also lacks many of the beneficial nutrients found in natural cheeses, such as real calcium-active cultures and complete proteins. Even worse, some of the additives used to emulsify and preserve texture, like phosphates, have been linked to imbalances in gut bacteria. Since the gut plays a major role in regulating inflammation, immunity, and even mental clarity, any disruption can have wide-reaching consequences. For seniors whose immune function is already more fragile, this imbalance may contribute to higher susceptibility to infections and slower recovery from illness. In essence, American cheese delivers calories, salt, and fat, but offers little of what your body actually needs to thrive as you age. Then there's blue cheese, a food often seen as elegant or gourmet, especially when served with wine or pears. But for older adults, this cheese can carry hidden dangers. The blue veins that give it its signature marbled look are created by a mold known as penicillium. While this mold is considered safe for the general population, it can be problematic for people over 60. That's because as we age, the body becomes less efficient at breaking down biogenic amines, natural compounds like tyramine and histamine that are produced during the fermentation of blue cheese. When these compounds accumulate in the bloodstream, they can trigger headaches, irregular heartbeats, elevated blood pressure, dizziness, and even anxiety in sensitive individuals. Moreover, blue cheese has one of the highest sodium contents among all cheese varieties, over 400 milligrams per ounce in many cases. This level of salt can be harmful for seniors managing hypertension or cardiovascular conditions. And here's another risk if stored improperly. Blue cheese can become a breeding ground for listeria, a type of bacteria that poses a serious threat to those with weakened immune systems. Listeria infection in older adults can cause symptoms ranging from fever and confusion to septicemia and meningitis. Sadly, many people mistake the early signs of listeria, like fatigue or mild chest pressure, as simple effects of aging, allowing the infection to take hold before treatment is sought. In short, blue cheese may offer intense flavor, but for seniors, it comes with intense risk. Next, we turn to cream cheese, smooth, spreadable, and often seen as harmless. But this soft cheese hides some problematic truths. It's low in protein and high in saturated fat, meaning it provides a hefty dose of calories with little nutritional value. This empty calorie profile makes cream cheese particularly tricky for older adults who need to manage their blood sugar and cholesterol levels. With age, your metabolism naturally slows and muscle mass declines, making it easier to gain fat and harder to maintain lean strength. Eating energy-dense, low-protein foods like cream cheese can accelerate this unwanted trend, increasing the risk of abdominal fat, insulin resistance, and fatigue. Cream cheese is also more vulnerable to bacterial contamination than harder cheeses, especially if left unrefrigerated. Because of its soft texture and moisture content, it's more likely to support the growth of pathogens like listeria or salmonella when stored improperly or left out at room temperature. For elderly individuals, even a mild case of food poisoning can quickly escalate into dehydration, hospitalization, or worse. What makes matters worse is that cream cheese often comes in flavored varieties, honey, walnut, strawberry swirl, and so on, which contain added sugars. These hidden sugars can raise insulin levels, worsen inflammation, and further compromise metabolic health. When combined with saturated fat and the risk of contamination, cream cheese becomes far less innocent than it appears. Finally, let's talk about processed cheese spreads. The small foil-wrapped triangle squeezable tubes or tubs that many of us grew up with. These products may seem convenient, even comforting, but they often rank as the worst kind of cheese for seniors. That's because they combine all the worst elements of processed food: artificial additives, trans fats, preservatives, and high sodium levels. In many brands, you'll find synthetic phosphates, which are used to keep the cheese soft and stable. But these additives are known to disrupt calcium metabolism and have been directly linked to kidney damage, especially dangerous for seniors who are more likely to experience age-related declines in kidney function. The National Kidney Foundation has warned that phosphate additives in processed foods can pose a silent burden on the kidneys, accelerating damage even in those without a diagnosed kidney condition. In some cases, these additives may also promote arterial stiffness, contributing to hardening of the arteries, a leading risk factor for stroke and heart attack. To make things worse, some of these spreads still contain trans fats, even though they're banned in many countries. Trans fats are notorious for raising bad cholesterol, LDL, while lowering good cholesterol, HDL, leading to increased risk of cardiovascular events. Because processed cheese spreads feel light and creamy, they're often mistakenly assumed to be healthier than hard cheeses, but nutritionally, they're far worse. The texture may be comforting, but the ingredients list is anything but. When you combine these risks: poor nutrient density, chemical additives, high sodium, and inflammatory compounds, it becomes clear why processed cheese spreads are often called a stroke in a cup. They may be marketed as easy to eat, but for seniors, they're anything but easy on the body. In conclusion, Cheese can either support or sabotage your health after 60. It all depends on what kind you're eating. Natural cheeses like mozzarella feta, Swiss and goat cheese offer clean, digestible nutrition that can boost bone strength, heart function, and brain clarity. On the other hand, processed products like American cheese, blue cheese, cream cheese, and cheese spreads may taste familiar, but they can quietly worsen the very conditions many seniors are already struggling to manage. The next time you open your fridge, take a second look at your cheese drawer. That small change, removing a processed cheese or swapping it for a healthier option, could be one of the most powerful decisions you make for your long-term health. Cheese isn't the villain. It never was. But just like medicine, when used the wrong way, it can do more harm than good. Especially after 60, when the body becomes more sensitive, more vulnerable, and less forgiving. The good news: you have more power than you think power to choose wisely. Eat smarter and protect your health from the inside out. This isn't about depriving yourself. It's not about giving up the foods you love. It's about knowing what's really in your food, how it affects your aging body, and making choices that serve your long-term well-being, not short-term cravings. We live in a world of overwhelming options. Grocery store shelves are packed with products labeled light, healthy, low-fat, or organic. But many of these labels are misleading. The truth is, some of the most dangerous foods for seniors are hiding in plain sight, and they often come with the most comforting packaging. Processed cheese flavored. Spreads fake American slices. These are products created in factories, not farms. They're designed to be cheap, long-lasting, and convenient, but they're loaded with additives that slowly erode your health bit by bit, day by day. For someone in their 20s or 30s maybe, that damage isn't obvious. But by the time you're 60 or older, your body is less able to compensate. The effects become clearer. Blood pressure spikes. Memory gets fuzzy. Digestion slows. Joints ache. And it's easy to think, that's just aging. But what if it's not? What if some of those symptoms are avoidable? What if a few simple changes, starting with something as small as your cheese choices, could help you feel clearer, lighter, more energetic again? Here's what we've learned: cheese, when chosen wisely, can be a powerful ally in your nutrition plan. The key is to avoid the highly processed types that flood your system with salt, synthetic chemicals, and bad fats, and instead lean into real nutrient-dense cheeses that support digestion, brain health, and bone strength. Fresh mozzarella, goat cheese, Swiss cheese, and feta. These are the types of cheese that love your body back. They're easier to digest, lower in sodium, and richer in vitamins and probiotics that your aging body craves. They help instead of harm, and they taste just as satisfying, sometimes even more. On the flip side, American cheese, blue cheese, cream cheese, and processed cheese spreads may carry strong flavors or fond memories. But they bring along baggage your body can no longer afford to carry. They can accelerate inflammation, raise your risk of stroke, damage your kidneys, and disrupt your gut and brain chemistry. And they do all of this without offering much in return. Now here's the most important part you get to choose. No one else can do that for you. Not your doctor, not your pharmacist, not even your family. Only you stand between what goes on your plate and what ends up in your bloodstream. That's not a burden, it's a privilege. Because every small choice adds up, and you don't have to be perfect. You just have to be more mindful than yesterday. Start simple. Open your fridge. Look at what's really there. Ask yourself, maybe it's time to swap out that cream cheese for goat cheese. Maybe it's time to rinse your feta. Maybe it's time to finally toss those cheese slices you haven't thought twice about in years. Every step matters. Because your health at this stage of life isn't about adding more restrictions. It's about making more intentional decisions. It's about understanding your unique needs and honoring them with better food, smarter habits, and a little bit of courage to say no to what no longer serves you. And remember, you're not alone. Thousands of others are waking up to the truth about food and aging every day. This community right here is full of people like you, curious, determined, and ready to take control of their health. So let's do this together. If today's video helped you learn something new, inspired you to look at your food choices differently, or even just gave you a little peace of mind, let us know in the comments. We read every one. And your story might be the encouragement someone else needs to make a change. Share this video with someone you care about, a parent, a friend, a neighbor. You never know who might need it more than they realize. And of course, if you haven't already hit that subscribe button and give this video a like. We're here every week bringing you science-backed, easy-to-follow advice to help you live your healthiest, happiest life after 60. Because age isn't just a number, it's a gift. And the choices you make today decide how you get to experience it tomorrow. Take care, and see you in the next one.